What if it never works out? There's really no what ifs. Most people get stuck thinking what if it never works out, that they never truly try to figure out what they really want. They get stuck in thinking what if it never works out, that they never get to take the risk that their heart really desires. And this is something that I had to struggle with for a long time. You can be someone that has a lot of ideas, you have a lot of opportunities, you have a lot of great ideas. Looking at it from the outside, it seems so impossible. And you get stuck in that spiral thoughts of what if it never works out? What if I should be doing something else? What if I should go for the easier option? What if I should go for the predefined path? If the path that you're working on feels really clear, you're probably working on a path that has been set by someone else. There has to be a certain level of uncertainty to what you're doing. That is how you know that it's being original. That's how you know that it's authentic to who you are. So yeah, it might never really work out, but you never know until you try. You never know until you try to figure out if it's going to work out or not. Quit thinking what if it never works out and actually go out there and try to make it work out. Try to put your best foot forward and see what happens. At the end of the day, life is just a game. You need to be able to enjoy playing the game, because if everything can be certain, then there's no point playing the game called life. So that level of uncertainty is needed, and that's where your faith comes in. That's where you have to truly believe in who you are and what you're doing. You have to truly believe that whatever it is that you're doing is going to work out regardless. And that's also why it's important to choose what your heart truly desires, because you get to derive joy just in the process. So what you're doing in the present moment shouldn't be a means to an end. Of course, you should have goals that you're trying to attain to. Of course, you should have things that you're looking up to. You should have goals that you set aside. You should have a plan on how you want everything to play out. But the real fulfillment comes from the process. All you need is just to immerse yourself into the process and let every other thing play out how it's supposed to. You shouldn't really worry about the outcome. And that's why it's important to do what your heart truly desires, because if you're doing what your heart truly desires, it doesn't really matter how it plays out. As long as you're actively involved in that process, you get a sense of fulfillment just by doing. And it gets easier to really do the things that you want to do for yourself. The process is really what brings you fulfillment and not even the end goal. So whatever you're doing shouldn't be a means to an end, because you really don't know how it's going to turn out to be. So make sure that whatever it is that you're putting your time and energy into is really what you want to put your time and energy into. So even if it doesn't turn out the way you wanted it to be, there's still a level of fulfillment you're going to get just by being part of that process. Stop thinking what if it never works out and just start doing, because the process is the goal.